Who's your source for all things Everton? My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another video that is on Demari Gray. Caused quite the stir today, and it's been a little bit of a saga for Demari Gray and Everton Football Club. Obviously, this stems back to during the transfer window, and then sort of he looked like he was going to go. And then since then, it all fell away for him. There was a social media post and all that. But yeah, it basically started. It looked like he was off. It looked like the deal was going to get done during the transfer window when it was open. Then there were reports that Everton had said, no, you're not going. We sort of need you. We need you at Everton. Or we're going to get a replacement first. And then from then, it sort of like went from that to sort of you stay in. It looked like he was staying. It looked like he'd just been told no. And then today, it looks like he might be on his way after all. It's really, really strange. So yeah, it's just my thoughts on it. Should we sell him? Should we let him go? And for the fee and stuff that he's going to be going for, which looks to be around about 8 million, I think it is. So yeah, very, very interesting. Obviously, Alan Myers said that a couple of days on the September the 3rd that Everton had rejected a bid from Steven Gerrard's side, Al Ettifaq. I'm going to pronounce that as. I expect, and Alan Myers said Everton expect Demari Gray to stay at the club, and Demari Gray had sort of, despite wanting to leave to join Steven Gerrard's team in Saudi Arabia, have the medical. The club have said, no, you're not going. We want you to stay here, etc., etc. I think because we wanted to get a replacement in, then we just sort of didn't even do that. And it fell from getting that to sort of then just, oh, we might just keep you because we're not going to play you, but we need you, which is a more interesting one. And then Demari Gray put a social media post out. I think it might have been yesterday. I'm not too sure. Maybe it was Friday at the time of recording. Saying something about the manager. It was almost like a goodbye esque. But yeah, it almost seemed like a goodbye. It was sort of like a see you later. He also commented on Iwobi's Instagram post after his move from Fulham and stuff like that, saying very good. But it's really, really interesting what Demari Gray. It sort of said Everton fans have been great, but it's difficult for me to play with someone who doesn't show the respect as a person. Now people, because football's reactionary, people were coming out then having a go at Sean Dyche, even though I mean going on like Demari Gray was prime Cristiano Ronaldo, and at the time I didn't want to say any. I thought best not because we don't know all the facts. I do know that when you hear people speak of Sean Dyche, former players, majority, I'd say 95% of them are very positive light. He doesn't get a lot of ex-players having a go at him, and the ones that do, you tend to start to realise that they have issues wherever they go. I'm not saying Demari Gray falls in with that category, but it was a bit unusual because Sean Dyche is known for being a great man manager. So it did feel a bit strange when that came out. And then today, obviously, Demari Gray had publicly took a swing at the manager. And today the manager and the club retaliated. Sean Dyche said he said the Demari told us the deal was done. Interesting to hear that from a player. We reminded him no deal is done till the club say so. Sean Dyche then followed up with, when it comes to a time like that, then you go, well, hang on a minute. You made it clear you didn't want to train, you didn't want to be here, and you also said that the move was a done deal. He said, we said it's not a done deal because the club is the most important. This club will make decisions on the future of you as a player and not the other way around. I think it's right to let our fans know the truth. Obviously, this has come under some sort of it's just caused a big up, like either way, it's caused a bit of a debate on Twitter, not an uproar, I'd say a discussion. We, by the way, ran a poll saying should Everton sell Demari Gray? 1,493 of you voted, 82.9% said yeah. Then Fabrizio Romano said that there's Everton and Al Ettifaq are close to agreeing a deal for Demari Gray. He already agreed personal terms on a 4-year contract last week. So Demari Gray was going around saying it's happening because Demari Gray, from his point of view, his side of the deal, has done what he needed to. He signed a contract. He's done the medical. So Demari Gray, the deal was done his side. It just wasn't Everton. They were green lighting it. And it looks like he's now going to go after all that, which is expected after this little public tiff-taff that he sort of had to. And my overall thoughts on it are, firstly, the Deitch coming out today with comments. I watched it and I thought, why the range? He just says, it was a bit. I got the feeling he wouldn't have done the interview if Demari Gray hadn't have put the status up. And Sean Dyche said, I like to keep things in-house. He said, I look after all the players. We as a club look after them all. Mental health and well-being is top. Then it's tactics, stuff like that, he said. And he said he likes to sort it in-house. But he said some players with social media will go out and do this. And then people sort of, there's two sides of the coin. People are then going, well, Sean, the club and Sean Dyche shouldn't have done that. The way I'm sitting on it is, I think if you're big enough to give it, you're big enough to take it. Demari Gray made it a public thing. This could have all been sorted in-house. I'm not saying Demari Gray's not in the right to be a bit annoyed, because we'll get onto that in a minute. But this could have all been done in-house, but you made it public. So then the manager has the right to reply and has made it public that you didn't want to train. You were going anyway, which the reports now of a deal being agreed also indicate that was probably the case. So I agree with Sean Dyche for defending himself and defending the club a little bit there. I also think it's what fans wanted. I know it might not be the communication, but everyone's like, if this was just rumours by reporters, people would be going, it'd be lovely to have some communication about all this. You got it. You got it today. I mean, it might not be how you wanted it to be, but I personally thought it was good, but but it is communication of somewhat. I know we want it on more things like the farewell and Sean Dyche and how the deals were done this summer and a bit more insight. And I don't think that's on the manager or farewell. I think really when we say communication, we want top as well. We want to know what's going on with the small investments. We want to know what's happening with that. So I mean, we did get some of it, but it's not on the big deals we want. Nobody's, in the grand scheme of things, nobody's fussed about Demari Gray and £10 million. People are more fussed about where this investment's going, why last week we're hearing deals have fell through and other deals have happened to be searched. That's what we want. We don't want, Demari Gray. No offense to Demari Gray. I'll get onto his Everton career as well. But when he leaves, the club doesn't stand still. The club's not going under because Demari Gray's left Everton. So yeah. But in terms of Demari Gray, though, I will say this. He obviously wanted to move to Saudi Arabia. I think some people have said, it's Sean Dyche is the only winner here. He's not. Demari Gray is also a winner. He's going to go on a 4-year contract in Saudi Arabia on really, really good money. Don't think he's looking at this like he's lost. It is. I will say this though. He clearly wanted to go last week, and it is obvious that he wasn't going to. He's not being played. So I can understand why he's a bit tiffed that he didn't go last week. From my point of view as a fan, I'm a bit tiffed he didn't go last week because last week gave us, if it was exactly last week today, that gives us 3 more days of the transfer window left with more money. Not to say we'd have spent it, but, we've sold him and Iwobi now way too late in the window. And that bit irritates me. In my personal opinion, I'd play Demari Gray. Even if it's off the bench, I'd keep him and play him because I think he does offer something that, Dan Juma and Beto have, but I think he offers pace, which we didn't have last season. So yeah, I can get why he's tiffed, and I can get why fans are tiffed from the point of if we just sold him last week, we could have spent the money. In terms of his Everton career, listen, I think it's been okay. If I had to give it a number, I'd say I don't know, like a 6 out of 10 maybe. Which isn't a knock, in a team that's had 2 relegation battles, an average of 6 out of 10 is not bad. He scored some really good goals, some absolute thunderbolts that we won't forget. He only cost like 1.5 million and we're selling him for 10, which by the way, I've not seen many people say brilliant business for the club, that is. Okay, it's not brilliant timing because it's come too late. The window's closed. But a team that's, has financial fair play breathing down their neck, an £8.5 million profit. Fantastic, that is. Getting 22 million for Alex Iwobi when his contract's due up at the end of next summer, at the end of the summer coming up. And he could go for a Bosman in January. Fantastic bit of business as well. Has to be said. I've got to credit the club when they get it right. Again, though, with Iwobi, probably happened a little bit too late in the window for me. We didn't replace him, did we? And we didn't replace Demari Gray. But yeah, so my overall thoughts are, in terms of the public's tiff-taff, the spat they're having, it should have all been dealt with in-house. Demari Gray brought it out in the public, brought his dirty laundry out. Sean Dyche has got the right to defend himself publicly now and has done. Obviously, he was going to go last week and wanted to go. If we weren't ever going to play him, we should have sold him last week. But I think this all could have been avoided. When players do this and then the club, I agree that the club should have done it, but it just makes everything look like a circus more. Don't air your dirty laundry in public. But I also don't think that, I think the club sort of had to. If you stay quiet, then fans would be like, just believe Demari Gray. And I did see Sean Dyche getting pelters the other day when Demari Gray put that up. People who I think are looking for an excuse to get him out were going, oh, look how badly he treats the players. He's like Ronald Koeman, blah, blah, blah. But now this has come out, they're full 360 and going, well, if you don't want to play and train, go. Football is so reactionary, is the big grand underlying tone. 1 minute, you're the greatest player or manager to ever live and your fans love you. And then a transfer or rumour or a missed penalty in a major game, and you are supposedly one of the worst things to happen to a football club, a cancer of a club. Football's reactionary, unfortunately, and I do think it's absolutely mental. I know Dyche mentioned it in his interview after the cup game last week. I think he said those words. He was like, 1 minute you're winning trophies and everyone loves you, the next you struggle to get 3 games together and people are calling for your sacking. It's crazy. But yeah, in terms of Demari Gray, thank you for his service. He's been a fantastic player in moments. The deal's good. He's going to enjoy, he might enjoy living out there. He's going to certainly enjoy his paycheck. So yeah, thank you, Demari Gray. Thank you for the 2 years in a relegation battle. He has scored goals and helped us get points to keep us up. I'm not undermining his time at Everton. He has been important. So yeah, best thing to say is thank you. And I fully mean that. But that's all we got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts. Look forward to reading them. See you soon.